Thing one tonight, British politics has been almost as wild as ours lately, as Prime Minister Boris Johnson tries to navigate Brexit before the end of October deadline to leave the EU. But at least they're getting a break, with Parliament formally shutting down tonight, also known as prorogation. It's an official end to the parliamentary session before a new one begins, this time lasting an unusually long 5 weeks, and involves a ceremony full of fun British pomp and circumstance. This is how it usually goes. First, there's the Royal Commission of Privy Councillors appointed by the Queen, who will enter the chamber in some seriously over-the-top robes and hats. Then comes this character carrying a big stick, who is called, I kid you not, Black Rod. And the Privy Councillors, the red robe and black hat people, tell Black Rod to go summon the House of Commons. Off he goes. And then they get down to business. The lady in a wig, the Clerk of the Crown, reads out all the acts that have been passed in the parliamentary session, and the guy in a wig, the Clerk of the Parliament, has to reply to each one. And that process is happening in London right now. Here's how it went last time.
Neighbourhood Planning Act.
La Reine le vote.
Bus Services Act.
La Reine le vote.
If you could not understand that, it's not your fault or your hearing. What he's actually saying is the Queen wishes it in Norman French, because why not? But there's also a very sad element to the closing of this parliamentary session. We're not going to get to hear this guy anymore. And that's thing two in 60 seconds. Speaker of the House of Commons John Bercow, known on this side of the pond as the guy who yells order a lot, announced today he will step down by October 31st, the day the UK is scheduled to leave the EU. Bercow tried to keep order at a time of absolute disorder in Parliament and became a somewhat controversial figure in the process. As the Telegraph describes it, Bercow used the usually impartial office of Speaker to frustrate Brexit, inevitably irking the Brexiteers. Whatever you think about Brexit, it's hard not to be thankful for these memories.
I say to the Chancellor of the Duchy that when he turns up at our children's school as a parent, he's a very well-behaved fellow. Don't gesticulate, don't rant, spare us the theatrics, behave yourself, be a good boy, young man, be a good boy. The simple answer is that the government must comply with the humble address passed by the House. That is the reality of the matter. Order! 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 If we have to go on longer because people sitting on the Treasury bench are yelling to try to disrupt, so be it. It really is very, very unseemly. There is a procedure to statements of this kind, a very long established procedure. And I'm setting out the position, and no one, be he ever so high, is going to tell me what the procedures in the chamber of the House of Commons are.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.